Back on the air for Game 2 here at Charleroi for this holiday classic, as it is the Ringgold Rams and the Southmoreland Scotties doing battle from Charleroi High School. Alex Lyons, Naz Victoria with you for game number 2. East Allegheny easily handled the Commodores in game number 1. They got out to the 22-1 advantage after the first quarter, and they did not look back. Frazier inched to as close as 13, but East Allegheny took care of business for win number 3 of the season, as the Ringgold Rams will look for their 3rd win of the season, as well as Southmoreland. But for the first time this year, Ringgold, a full caliber of players. They were out without Tolliver to start the season, then some issues with Davenport and Zion Moore missing time. First time all year that everybody will be available to the Ringgold Rams, and maybe start to see what Ringgold's truly made of, as they look like they could be on a collision course with Bell Vernon here this week.
Well, I'm thinking that Ringgold is a playoff team this year. Well, that's a big statement, but yes, I think they're going to end up being the 2nd or 3rd place team in their section. They're not a bad team at all. They're a little bit inexperienced, but I think with all of their players, like you said, a full slate of players, they're going to be able to take care of business.
Yeah, Bacon's become a very lethal scorer for this team, and then when you give him some secondary pieces like Zion Moore and now a guy like Jesus Davenport, who didn't play last year, it's very much a different Ringgold team who retooled on the fly against a very young team who has a lot of experience, a lot of sophomores for this Southmoreland team, but a lot of guys that saw experience as freshmen a season ago.
Well, as far as Pecan goes, you could tell in the summertime that he was starting to get comfortable with his game. He was really coming on. He was knocking down shots. He was able to take it to the hoop. When you're taking it to the hoop against players of that caliber, it bodes well for you when you get into your high school basketball season. As far as Southmoreland goes, I don't know much about them, but I do see from looking at their schedule that they beat both of the teams that played in the previous game for their only 2 wins of the season. They also have 2 losses to Kiski area and Uniontown. Uniontown is up there in that Bell Vernon section.
And Uniontown's looked pretty good this year so far. They've had a really good start to the season, and win-wise, since there's been no section play, they're right up in there inside their classification with most wins coming in, to date. So that's a decent win against a Uniontown team for this, or game against a very good Uniontown team who looks to be good this year, who's only a 3-point loss.
Yeah, and like you mentioned earlier about Ringgold, they started off the season with 2 wins at the Mon Valley Independent Shootout Classic at Bell Vernon Area High School. They beat Clareton and Sarah Catholic. Then they went up against a couple other teams, Elizabeth Forward, West Allegheny, and South Fayette, without a full roster of players. That hurt them a lot. It's going to be interesting to see if they get back into it.
And it's going to be a good, I think, stepping stone for both teams to see what they're made of. It's going to be Isaac Trout, Rodney Collins, Caden Kiefer, along with Ty Keffer and Wyatt Richter, the starting 5 for Southmoreland, as it's Daryl Tolliver, Nick Pecan, along with Pahoic, Davenport, and Zion Moore for the Ringgold Rams. As Pahoic both misses the opening jump. Eventually along to Davenport now. Zion Moore to Tolliver in the corner. Gets it in Pahoic. Pahoic tries to swing it out to Pecan, but it's broken up by Southmoreland. Eventually Tolliver grabbed it, but the foul was called first on the Rams, and the Scotties will take over with 7:49 remaining in the opening quarter.
So 5 is Tolliver. I haven't seen him yet this season. This will be the first time I've seen him play. I hear good things about the young man.
Keffer gets it along to Kiefer, who finds his man Trout. Trout passes it along to Collins. Collins bounce pass off of Pahoic. And Southmoreland will maintain possession. Collins, a kind of prominent name at Southmoreland. You remember that girls team a few years back that was so good. I know you're feeling on that side of things, Naz, but related to the Collins that was excellent on that team that went a very long way for Southmoreland. Actually, the only reason I even know that is because the Collins was my 4th grade teacher in high school. So it's kind of how I was able to tie all those pieces together as Zion from way downtown knocks it down.
That was a deep NBA range three from the young man.
As underneath, all alone, it's Collins putting it in for two, and Southmoreland back on the board. It's 3-2 Ringgold with 7 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Bahoic underneath, that one pinballs around, and Zion Moore back up top of the key.
I'll tell you what, Zion Moore for a freshman has a lot of poise. He's not afraid of the moment in any way, shape, or form.
As Davenport off the miss lays it up and in for two, and Ringgold increases their lead. Keffer gets it along, one pass up to Collins in the right wing. Rodney Collins drives in but travels first, and the Rams get it back with 6:29 remaining opening quarter and a 5-2 Ringgold lead. Davenport to Zion Moore. Pressure tightly, but gets around Trout with ease. Zion drives in, 1-2, off the window, no good. Rebound, Davenport can't finish. Now it's Zion, lost the handle. Loose on the floor, eventually to Pecan, drives in with the left hand, lays it home. Nick Pecan increases the Rams' lead.
That was really nice use of the left for him.
Collins with a triple, and that one's off the mark, and an offensive foul underneath. Looks like Wyatt Richter is the guilty party. He will be.
You know, and Coach Rowland for Ringgold, he's putting a lot on Zion Moore. Zion's controlling the offense. As you can see, he brings the ball up.
Ringgold 4-2 against Southmoreland since 2003. As Zion kicks to the corner, there goes Tolliver, and Tolliver travels first. But these teams, this is the third meeting inside the Charleroi Christmas tournament, 1-1. Trout bounce pass to Collins, right back to a streaking Trout into the front court. Trout in the right wing, pressure tightly by Pecan. Nick Pecan now backing up a little bit as Trout looks to penetrate. Hands off. That's to Collins as it ricochets away towards the timeline. Bounce pass underneath. Trout reverse layup off the back iron, no good, and the ball ricochets out of bounds. Last touch by Southmoreland as Ringgold gets it back with 5:24 remaining in the opening quarter and a 7-2 Rams lead.
I think as Ringgold gets a little bit more comfortable with each other, they'll be able to do a little bit more defensively as opposed to offensively. Their offense seems to go through a few guys, but defensively, they need to get all on the same page to really be able to do something. Davenport there trying to come over and help make the block, picks up that foul.
As driving in there was Ty Keffer, the 6'2 sophomore. He's the straw that stirs the drink for this Southmoreland team. 23 points per game, averaging 10.5 rebounds as well.
They gave that foul to Tolliver.
I would have said Davenport as well, but hey, we're not paid to do that job. That is.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Ty Keffer got his first, looking for his second point, and will knock that one home as well. 2 for 2 trip that time by Ty Keffer. Keffer shooting 47.5% from the floor this season. First 2 points come from the charity stripe as Zion looks for Tolliver, has him, and underneath it's Davenport off the window and in.
That was a nice pass by Tolliver to get Davenport that bucket.
There goes Wyatt Richter, bounce pass to the corner, and that looked like it was going towards Matt Rowland. Nobody home for Southmoreland.
Well, if Matt would have caught it, I'm sure he would have put it up.
4:40 remaining in the opening quarter. It's a 9-4 lead for the Ringgold Rams. Zion in no hurry. Moore gets it to Tolliver. Tolliver swings it to Pecan, deep triple, and that one off the mark. Bahoic saves it almost. I'm going to say just stepped on the end line.
Too far for me to see. I couldn't even see it on the replay. It's nice having a replay here.
That's definitely an added bonus to the little bit of tape delay we get as Keffer pulls the trigger and knocks down the triple.
Nice play by number 11.
As driving in there, Zion Moore rims out, rebound by Collins. And, you know, a familiar voice down on the PA, it's Charleroi head basketball coach Bill Wilt's doing the honor for the first 2 games.
Nice. Bill does it all here. But he couldn't get me copies. They don't have a copying machine in his office.
Man, that's surprising.
Right?
As there's Keffer in the backcourt with 3:55 and counting the first. Looks to pick up the pace. Locks the hand. It was to Benedetto. The first sub for the Rams was in his face. And Pecan knocks it out of bounds. Yeah, Matt Rowland looks like he's a fun coach to play for. I will tell you that.
I would imagine that he is. I'd imagine he gets pretty mean, though, if they don't listen.
I could see that as well.
Well, he's trying to be pretty easy going with everything. Oh, that's a foul, isn't it?
As diving on the floor was Collins. Looks like he took out the legs of Zion Moore, but they won't call that. Instead, it will be the tie-up, and it's going to be Southmoreland ball. But I think, you know, trying to develop his culture to this program.
Yes.
Which I think with a lot of new pieces definitely helps things. With guys like Zion and then Davenport coming to the team this year who didn't play last year, I think it definitely helps develop a new culture. As driving in is Keffer, step back jumper off the front iron, no good. Rebound grab by Pecan, who gets it to Pahoic. Pahoic quickly to Davenport, who hands it off to Pecan, who dribbles into the front court. One more, Zion Moore for 3. Got it! Zion Moore's second triple of the game.
He deserved that technical there. Taunting. He turned around and talked to the boy. And that really pissed Matt off. But see, he's coming back. He could give his team some love a little bit.
As Ty Keffer will shoot a pair. He has 5 points. And Zion was trying to plead his case to his coach. And, you know, I like that Matt Rowland went over and got the explanation. Okay, what happened here? I'm not going to take my player's word for it. I want to hear your side of it. As Keffer now 3 for 3 from the stripe. He's up to 6 points.
Yeah, it was definitely Zion's fault. He was a little happy he hit that 3, and he let the defender know that.
12-9 lead for Ringgold here in quarter number 1. 3:13 remaining as Ty Keffer knocked down both, and the Scotties get the basketball off the technical foul. Isaac Trout will do the honors on the far side, and Zion Moore got over the boundary.
Well, that's another technical, and they're going to throw him out. Oh, they're just giving him a warning. Okay.
So the out-of-bounds violation gives the warning to Zion Moore with 3:13 remaining here in the first quarter, and that would be a huge loss if Zion would have been.
I'll tell you what, if I was Coach Rowland, I might sit him down right now for a couple seconds, let him think about what he's been doing, and then put him back in the game after maybe 1 or 2 possessions.
Let him find his head. I've seen so many coaches do that, and, you know, it goes a long way. Just, okay, get your thoughts, because we need you. You're an important part of our team, and when you're out there doing stuff like that, it's definitely a tough thing to deal with. Southmoreland inbound under the hoop to our right. Trout gets it out, driving in. That's Collins off the window, no good. Rebound by DeBenedetto. DeBenedetto to Zion Moore. Moore. Tolliver puts up the triple, and Tolliver knocks it down.
So out of their 15 points, they have 4 3-pointers, correct? Or do they have all 5?
I think just 3 is a foul there on Pahoic.
Nuh-uh, 4. Zion has 2 of them.
And
Pecan has 1, and Tolliver just hit the 4th. Right?
No, I have Tolliver with a 3, 2 for Pecan, 4 for Davenport, and then 6 for Moore, which does add up to 15. I did some quick math, making sure I wasn't.
I thought Zion hit a deep 3.
Zion hit the deep one over there and then hit the one he got the technical on, and then
that's 2.
Pecan doesn't have one.
He hit a deep one from right out here top.
No, he missed that one.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did the quick math. I think it looks like at least things added up as that one would not go. As up ahead, there's Tolliver. Tolliver to Moore, pulls the trigger, and Moore knocks it down. There's the 3 for Zion Moore.
There's the 4th for the Ringgold Rams. Jump ball, nice play, nice defense. Good job.
(18-11) lead for Ringgold over Southmoreland with 2:20 remaining in the opening quarter. Zion Moore with 9, all from 3-point range. Zion drives in, down low to Benedetto. One more, back to Zion again, buried again! Zion Moore.
He's on fire from 3-point range.
He's outscored Southmoreland himself, and Ty Keffer turns it over in transition. Zion gets it from Davenport. 1:56 and counting opening quarter. 21-11 lead for the Rams. Zion to DeBenedetto. DeBenedetto gets it to Tolliver. Tolliver almost travels, gets it to Pecan, who walked the tightrope. Pecan pressured tightly by Trout. Now drives in. Foul line jumper off the window and banks it in.
Nice drive by Pecan. Zion just stole the inbound, got a layup out of it.
14 first quarter points for Zion Moore, and a 30-second timeout for Southmoreland as the Rams are starting to run away here in quarter number 1.
Yes, Zion Moore and Jesus Davenport, they were big losses in those in the losses that Ringgold suffered for the last week or so. It seems that Zion Moore just means so much to that team. And then you get a little bit of balance with Pecan being able to do what he could do, take the ball to the hole. He could shoot the ball. He could shoot the ball very well as well. And then you get Davenport in the game that can get you rebounds down low and has that defensive presence with his 6'4" body. Yeah, they have a nice team.
And I think you also, Pahoek's a guy that's very thought of, I think, on this team as well. He doesn't necessarily get you the buckets, get you the turnovers, but he's a lot of the little things right for Ringgold as well. So, you know, if they can stay healthy and
eligible,
yeah, that's the big thing. If they can do those things, that this could be a very good Ringgold Rams team.
Yep.
As there goes Collins, stuffed. It's Davenport sending it back.
That's what I'm talking about. Right there.
Trout flips it up top. That's Ty Keffer. Keffer thought about the 3, Pecan in his face. Now drives in. Far side he goes. That's the Trout. Trout. Top of the key now, backpedals. Trout. Calling for help, directing traffic, bounce pass in, that's Lynn, kicks it out near side, Richter, back to Lynn, pulls the trigger, and off the mark on the 3, Zion with the board. Zion up ahead, a little tall, Tolliver saves it for a moment, and out of bounds off of Southmoreland. Great hustle play there by the youngster Tolliver. Benedetto slaps the ball, sending things in motion as he gets it into Pecan, pulls the trigger on the mid-range. Jay rims out, no good. Rebound by Ty Keffer. Up ahead, there's Lynn. Lynn drives in. Lynn puts it up off the glass, no good. Rebound by Davenport. Coming to the scorer's table to check, it will be Myers for Southmoreland in our next stoppage. As there goes Tolliver to the lane, off the window and in.
Very nice move by Tolliver. I was just looking at him on the roster here. He's only a sophomore.
Very young but talented team for Ringgold is a travel, and back the other way we go is checking in will be Myers. Besides DeBenedetto and Pecan, you look at Tolliver, the sophomore, Pahoica Jr., Davenport's a senior, Glasser, who's very good off the bench, who's going to check in right now.
Right.
He's a junior, and then Zion's a freshman.
Yep.
You know, Glasser, he's impressed me a lot with having to play some big minutes with Davenport and Tolliver being out early in this season.
Yeah, he looked good in the Bell Vernon tournament.
Off the deflection, no backcourt violation will come. 4 seconds, 2, and the Pecan pulls the trigger and short from the corner as head coach Matt Rowland told Zion not to hold it. I think a little unaware of the time left on the clock, but after one, the Rams rolling 27-11 here on MVI Live. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have quarter number 2 for you right here on MVI Live, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
If you're looking for handmade gifts this season, check out Chloe and Me Candles. All of their products are made in-house since 2014. Their waxes are a proprietary blend of soy, paraffin, coconut, and corn, and they use cotton core wicks and phthalate-free oils. Their body products are made with the finest quality oils, butters, and salts for your skin. Check them out at 205 West Main Street in Monongahela or call 724-298-8696.
Doreen Walters, your full-time realtor and a master certified negotiating expert. One of the most positively reviewed agents on Zillow in southwestern Pennsylvania, with the best marketing and maximum exposure, and a lifelong resident of the Mon Valley.
Back here on MVI Live, the Charleroi Holiday Tournament. It's 27-11 Ringgold here in game number 2 over Southmoreland, as Ringgold looking to punch their date into the winner's bracket, and it's a great start for the Rams after one.
Winner of this game goes where? You have the.
They would take on the winner of Charleroi and California.
Okay. That would be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
As out of bounds, and Southmoreland will maintain possession here in quarter number 2 with 7:52 remaining in the second. And we think it's Frazier and then the loser of that game tomorrow, but it could also be Southmoreland tomorrow in that opening game. It's one of those things, there was a misprint on the original bracket as that one knocked down from deep from Elijah Myers. Make it 27-14 as Pecan, a mid-range jumper, rattles no good, rebound long, that's the Trout. Isaac Trout slows things down over the Cougar logo, handoff right wing, that's Collins. Collins tries to get around Moore, but Moore takes it away. Zion to Pecan, Pecan straight up and lays it in. Nick Pecan again.
Second time he used his left going to the hole, nice shot.
And that's the big thing, you know, if you can learn to do that, and that was one of the first things when I got to the high school level, they said, you gotta learn to use the left hand on the left side. And it's one of those things, it's such a saver as deep 2, no good by Keffer. Collins to Trout with the triple, and that one no good as well. Glasser gets the board.
Nice box out by Glasser. Lost art of boxing out.
Davenport looks to drive in. Davenport puts it up, and that one no good. Rebound. Davenport gets it, and count the buckets. Jesus Davenport.
Not too bad, Jesus. Not too bad. He should have knocked the first one down, though. I think he's trying to pad his rebounding stats.
Up to 6 points. A number of rebounds as well for Davenport. Tolliver out. DeBenedetto in. Lynn gets replaced by Kiefer, as Jesus looking for number 7 from the charity stripe. It is 31-14 in favor of Ringgold. as it will stay that score, but DiBenedetto gets the board and gets knocked down. Another foul on Southmoreland.
Yeah, that'll be their fifth? No, their third. Okay.
That's Caden Kiefer picking up the personal. DiBenedetto gets it in. Pecan up top to Glasser, pressured by Myers. Foul line, stops up. Glasser swings it, driving in is DiBenedetto, who tosses it right to Caden Kiefer. Quickly up here comes Ty Keffer. Keffer to the corner, 3 up and 3 rattles, no good for Myers. Rebound DiBenedetto. Marco near side to Moore. Here comes Zion Moore up ahead a little far, but Glasser reels it in. Lorenzo Glasser in the left wing, drives into the paint. Glasser blocked from behind and out of bounds. Last touched by Elijah Myers.
The only critique I have of Zion Moore so far with his basketball game is his long pass needs to get a little more control on it. But he's playing very well right now.
And Zion, just a freshman, saves it there to Pecan. Top of the key, drives in on Keffer. Step back, 15-footer deflected by Keffer. Up ahead, Myers goes. That's the Keffer in the left wing. Keffer, step back jumper, and that one knocked down from beyond the arc. Huge 3 there by Ty Keffer. He's up to 12. The answer at the other end won't come by Pecan.
Ty Keffer's not too bad. He's a sophomore, it looks like. Big sophomore.
Averaging a double-double a game. Almost picked up an assist there as Myers was off the mark. And an offensive foul on the rebound attempt. As Ringgold gets possession back with 5:20 remaining in the first half. 31-17. Rams lead. DiBenedetto out. Pahoek in. And Richter replaces Myers.
So you did mention in the pregame that 4 of the 5 starters for Southmoreland are sophomores. They're going to be all right in the next couple of years, I think.
A lot of these guys saw action last year as freshmen. So an offensive foul there on Pahoek is setting the spot. Was the lone senior starter, Isaac Trout.
He really took one for the team there. Trout's a little guy. He got ran over by the big man.
And that's a big foul on Pahoek. Number 3 already for Jake. As he'll stay in there for the moment. Collins hands it off. That's the Keffer. Drives in. Keffer kicks it corner. Richter for 3 off the mark. Long rebound near side. There goes Zion. Has Pahoek up ahead. Gets it to him. Pahoek kicks it back. Zion for 3. Why not? And that one off the mark is Zion. His first miss from 3-point range today. To the corner. Driving in, there's Richter. Richter, Trout step back triple, and Trout knocks it home. And all of a sudden the lead down to 11.
Trout's shooting the ball pretty well.
57% on the season from the floor for the senior. One of the big 2, he's averaging over 12 a game. Pahoek gets it up top. Back to Pecan with 4:08 remaining here in the second quarter. At the 10-foot line on the volleyball markings is Pecan directing traffic. Swings it to Davenport. Davenport, and now a timeout, 30-second variety used by the Rams.
I think Coach Rowland called that timeout because Ringgold couldn't recognize how to get it, the mismatch. Zion Moore was down on the block with Isaac Trout playing defense on him. Quite a size mismatch there. And they couldn't figure out how to get the ball into the block.
6'2" to 5'9". You want to get that, take advantage of that every time you have an opportunity to.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he was looking to do. They just couldn't figure it out. But like you said, you know, first year with all these guys together, they have to figure a few things out.
Yeah, and that's one, clear the side of the court. Let Zion be, and that was the issue there. It wasn't, Pecan wanted to get it in there, he was aware, but everyone was kind of clustered on that side. And when you have a mismatch like that, you want to isolate everything. And you know,
play a 2-man game.
That was one of our things. We had a distinct play. Anytime we would get when I was in high school, anytime we'd get a mismatch or feel like something we could take advantage of on the block, we'd call that. One guy would go to the block, everyone would clear out, and a lot of times that was some easy buckets until someone would change things up. As they'll try to get to Zion once again. It was guarded by Trout, but Trout, quick hands, knocks it out of bounds.
I'm really surprised that Southmoreland's coach is staying with this matchup. He has a lot of faith in number one.
Once again, they go to Zion. Tolliver helped set him free. Now up top was Richter draped all over Zion Moore. And Richter picks up the personal. That's going to be his second. Nick Pecan to inbound on the near side. Zion will streak up beyond the perimeter. Pressured tightly by the senior Trout. Now it's Pecan from the corner off the mark. Rebound deflected out of bounds. That's by Richter, and the Rams maintain possession.
Yep, good call.
Floated into Zion Moore. Zion kicks it Tolliver for three, and Tolliver knocks it home. That's his second triple. He's up to 8 points. 14-point advantage for Ringgold. And that one through the hands of Richter with 3:26 remaining in the half. 14-point advantage for Ringgold over Southmoreland. Pecan to Zion Moore. In the front court, Moore gets it to Tolliver. Tolliver
needed to recognize that whole left side wide open for him.
got it to Pecan. Tolliver gets it back. Still a lot of room on the left side, and Tolliver.
Right? And he had it taken off him instead.
Here's Richter. Richter up, no good. And that's a classic case of Richter letting the contact affect his shot.
I think he was just intimidated, to be honest with you.
As another steal by Richter. See what he does this time by Richter. Drives in and on Tolliver. Offensive foul.
Nice defensive position by Tolliver there. Really worked hard.
And that's Richter's third personal now. And he's frustrated. And Trout, the senior, said, you lowered your shoulder. You can't do that. So that's a great showmanship of senior leadership by Trout, trying to round up the young sophomore and say, hey, listen, this is what you did. You can't do that. You know, let's keep playing through this and start correcting our mistakes. As Pecan back up top, that's the Tolliver, pressured by Myers. Now it's Jesus Davenport. Up top to Benedetto. De Benedetto, bounce pass to Pecan in the right wing, pressured by Keffer. Drived in, picks his pocket, but right to Tolliver, and Tolliver troughs before putting it on the floor. Press coming by the Ringgold Rams with 2:27 remaining in the half and a 34-20 lead in favor of Ringgold over Southmoreland. Keffer flips it near side. Myers pulls up from the short corner. No good. Rebound by Davenport. Pecan tries to split a pair unsuccessfully. Now it's Trout.
One bad habit I've seen Ringgold have tonight is trying to dribble through more than one guy here. It's very difficult to dribble through two guys.
Trout for three off the mark. Long rebound, swatted out of bounds by Pecan. And it's kind of one of those things, back to your point, Naz, that you got two guys on, you're trying to dribble through. There's got to be an open target somewhere.
Right, somewhere.
As Keffer off the inbound, off the mark. As they create a wall for Ty. Keffer just couldn't knock down the triple. Step back triple, this time off the front iron, no good. Rebound, Zion Moore.
Keffer has a nice little step back three-point shot. Like it.
Zion straight up and one, Zion Moore.
What strength he just showed on that. Nice drive, strength, hung to the bucket. Nice, very nice.
16 for Zion, looking for 17, as he's showing he can do it all from deep, from in the paint, and from the mid-range. Zion Moore can knock it down from any spot on the court.
I think the referee's telling him to control his mouth, though. That seems to be his problem so far today. The only one he has, well, that and foul shooting.
As was Ringgold's biggest flaw. We saw them in the MVI Shootout Classic as Trout gets it to Keffer. Keffer thought about the three, drives in on Tolliver. Keffer with the hook and gets it to fall. And he'll look for the old school three-point play. Unconventional, but got the job done for Ty Keffer.
This young man has game.
If he's looking for somewhere to play in the summer, I think we have a spot for him, Naz.
Yeah, I think he might be able to fit in somewhere.
Of course, talking about the MVI Summer Basketball League, featuring some of the best talent in all of Western Pennsylvania, likes of Rodney Gallagher and Ringgold Zion Moore.
It truly is some of the best talent. Go in and night out and play against the best, you get better.
And it's been proven. I mean, a guy that I think we've seen it more than anything. Of course, guys like Zion who are freshmen, but Lorenzo Gardner of Monessen, we see how much that's benefited him. As here comes Myers in transition, blocked! Davenport gets up and sends it back. .108 remaining in the half, 36-23. The Ringgold Rams rolling. Inside, both players jump in an errant pass to Caden Kiefer, who saves, but right to Davenport. Now it's Zion with 55 on the clock. Pecan. Now it's Tolliver. Tolliver to Davenport. Davenport back to Zion Moore. Zion drives in, step back, got the man in the air, kicks it to Tolliver, a little trouble. Tolliver to his right. Tolliver tries the handoff, doesn't work, eventually deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Tolliver, and I think the young sophomore is one of those classic cases where he only wants to go right.
Yes, you can tell he doesn't have a lot of game experience.
Keffer, a big smile on his face, seeing that he's being guarded by Tolliver. A big mismatch situation on this side of the court. As in the corner, Myers all alone, his third time the charm. No, he's 0 for 3 from that spot tonight. Now it's Trout. Surveys, 10 on the clock. Does Trout hold for one? His team down by 13. Trout drives in with 4. Trout puts it up and puts it home. And that will end the half with 2 for Isaac Trout. He's up to 5 all this quarter, and it's a 36-25 Rams lead, but Southmoreland not going away without any sort of a fight here in this one.
Yeah, it was a nice first half by Ringgold. They're really shooting the ball well from three-point land. They were able to get it to the hoop a few times. The only Achilles heel maybe might be their attitude a little bit and free throw shooting, but other than that, they had a pretty good half. Southmoreland's Keffer was very impressive. He put up 15 points in the first half, 15 of the 25 for the Scotties. Trout was solid. He played a pretty good first half with 5, and Southmoreland, they're just hanging around. Ringgold needs to do something to put them away here in the third quarter.
And they've got to big leads. The question is, can they maintain that big lead, which Southmoreland was able to cut into. They had some big advantages in that. And I think Ringgold has to make sure they don't. You said, the one thing they've done poorly is, in a sense, run their mouths a lot. And I think they're just getting into the theatrics of the game right now more than finishing off the game.
They are, but they can't let their emotions get to them that early in the game. I mean, you got to be able to maintain your emotions until at least the game's put away in the fourth quarter. You can start getting emotional in the first half. You start doing stupid things, pick up a technical foul after you make a 3, jump over the line a couple times on a couple of those block shots. It's a part of the game. It's not the greatest thing that ever happened during the game.
Yeah, definitely some things still to work on for the Ringgold Rams, but they have the 11-point lead at the half. We'll take a break, and then when we come back, we'll get you ready and have half number 2 for you here on MVI Live, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Itty bitty treasures and more at Riverside Village Shops for something extra special. Memory domes, engraving, awards, screen printing, embroidery, gifts, and so much more. Riverside Village Shops located at 127 Spear Street in Belle Vernon.
Stop on down to Hills Restaurant, Main Street in New Eagle. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, dine in or take out. Online ordering now available at hills-restaurant.com. Hills Restaurant, the best kept secret in the valley. You can call them at 724-258-5422. Come to Trigimbo Motors, a top-rated Pittsburgh area dealership for over 55 years to actually enjoy car buying. From their extensive high-quality selection of cars, SUVs, and trucks. You'll receive personal care and attention and enjoy your experience at Trigimbo Motors of Bentleyville. Visit their website at trigimbo-motors.com or visit them at 125 Wilson Road in Bentleyville.
All right. Looks like the teams are coming back out here.
At the half, 36-25, the Ringgold Rams on top of the Southmoreland Scotties. 27-11 Ringgold after the first quarter, 36-25 at the half. Southmoreland outscored the Rams 14-9 in quarter number 2 as Ty Keffer has led the way. He has 15 of the Scotties points, and Ty Keffer kind of putting on an Ever Berger type impression that we saw in the MVI Shootout Classic, where he's really the only thing that gets the offense going for his team.
Yes, it looks that way right now. He has 15 of the 25 points. So he's getting a little bit of help from senior guard Isaac Trout.
Trout has 5, 1 triple. Elijah Myers, he has 1 3, but he's missed a ton of open looks from that far side corner with nobody really in sight. And that's kind of a big thing to look at throughout. If Southmoreland can start knocking down a few of those shots, where is this game going to be at the end of the third quarter? If Southmoreland starts hitting those shots and Ringgold kind of has another cool quarter.
Yeah, I don't see that coming. I think Ringgold could pick up their defense a little bit. That might have been what Coach Rowland told them in the locker room. You know, you got to just play hard defense to keep these guys at bay. You have a nice lead at the half. Everything offensively seems to be going well for Ringgold. Nick Pecan hasn't hit any threes yet, I don't believe, but if he gets hot, that'll add another dimension, outside dimension to them. Nice surprise was Daryl Tolliver, the sophomore guard. That's the first time I saw him play. He knocked down a couple threes. He made a couple of mistakes, a couple bad turnovers, maybe one bad defensive play, but other than that, he's had a very good game so far. We talked about Jesus Davenport on the defensive end. I believe he's blocked a couple shots and altered quite a few others. He's given him a defensive presence. Yeah, they're not looking too bad at all. Not looking bad.
Spread out scoring for this Ringgold team. Zion 16, 6 for Davenport, 6 for Nick Pecan, and 8 for Daryl Tolliver, including his 2 triples in that first half. As both teams with 2 wins on the season. Southmoreland, they have 1 section loss as they're in a dreadful section with Bell Vernon, Uniontown, EF, Mount Pleasant, York, and South Park.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough section to win games in, that's for sure.
As Elizabeth Ford and Bell Vernon seem to be the big 2 by the end of the year, and EF's impressed me a ton with how they've looked this year, especially without star guard Zach Boyd. That's been a very impressive team. And Uniontown, they've been off to a great start, averaging over 63 points per game. As I think Southmoreland, they're for some growing pains this year inside that section. Maybe next year could be the year Southmoreland can finally start to compete, but they do have the goal. They want to make the playoffs this year. It's been a while for Southmoreland since they've got into the postseason. As besides last year, due to the everybody could play mentality, they were able to play last season, but the last playoff win was back in 2017. That was also their last instance of making the postseason. Really, it's been a tough sledding besides that 2006 year where they had 20 wins. It's kind of been all downhill since then, as that one up and no good for Pecan. Rebound Davenport, and Davenport gets the first points of quarter number 3.
And stole the inbounds, got it to Moore.
And Zion once again from downtown sends it through. 19 for Zion Moore, and it's a 41-25 Ringgold lead, as getting fouled was Ty Keffer.
That last possession was a stat line stuffer for Jesus Davenport. Made the bucket, stole the inbounds, threw it out to Zion. So he got a rebound, a bucket, an assist, and a steal.
That's how you pad the stats, and Jesus Davenport is such a huge ad for this Ringgold team when he is on the court. As Keffer hands it off, Trout floats it up, no good. Rebound grab by Davenport again. Pecan in transition, Pecan. There's Zion. Zion pulls the trigger off the mark, no good. Davenport pokes it free to Tolliver. Pecan rolling up top, pressured by Collins. Collins takes it away, and there goes Collins in transition, and Collins blocked from behind, and it goes off of Collins. Nick Pecan in transition defense.
Good hustle by Pecan to get back after having that ball stolen off of him. Excellent defensive play.
(41-25) lead for Ringgold. 6:48 remaining here in the third as Zion Moore will slow things down. Into the front court, Zion. Top of the key, now it's Pecan in the right wing. Pecan gets it down low. Driving up, Davenport off the bottom of the backboard and back the other way. Here comes Richter. Richter straight to the window, now pedals back out. Tries to swing it across, and that one's off of Pahoek and out.
That last play showed Davenport's inexperience playing varsity basketball games. He got under the basket a little too much, and when he went up, he just got caught by the backboard.
Floated in, that's Kiefer. Caden Kiefer blocked again by Davenport. Jesus Davenport filling up the block column here this evening.
Indeed he is. He uses that length well.
Floated into Kiefer again. Kiefer one dribble off the window, no good. Rebound Zion Moore. There goes Moore, top of the key. Now wheels back. Zion Moore surveys. Bounce pass Pecan in the right wing. Swings it in, there's Davenport. Davenport tries the little up and under, but travels, changing the pivot foot. The Ringgold bench wanted a foul on that sequence on Southmoreland as Davenport almost came up to steal another. Keffer in the right wing, drives in. Keffer stops up, looking over his options. Keffer finds a streaking Trout, blocked from behind. It's Davenport again. Now it's Collins. Collins trickles it back out. There's Richter underneath the Collins. Collins tries to back down Davenport. Shot no good. Davenport affects it again. Out of bounds, last touch by Pahoek.
Great hustle under there by Davenport. Looks like he's a little gassed right now.
5:33 and counting here in quarter number 3. 41-25 lead for Ringgold. Or 41-25 lead, I should say. Ringgold scored every point this quarter. Keffer drives in, looking to change that. Keffer swings it across, deflected out by Davenport. Active hands by Jesus Davenport once again.
Excellent defense.
Trout slaps it, sending things in motion. Out top it goes. That's the tie, Keffer. Keffer pressured tightly by Pecan. Keffer drives in. Keffer gets the screen, foul line, jumper from 15, knocks it down for the first points of the half for Southmoreland. He's at 17, 41-27 lead in favor of the Rams with 4:55 remaining here in the third. It's Tolliver. Bounce pass into Pahoek. Pahoek drives in. Pahoek gets fouled from behind as Keffer came in and initiated the contact. It's going to be Keffer's second. 4:48 remaining here in the third. 41-27 lead for Ringgold as Pahoek will look to knock down his first 2 points of the game. Off the back iron, no good. We stay at a 41-27 score with 4:48 remaining in the third.
His form doesn't look that bad.
Through the routine, puts it up, and that one off the back iron again, no good. An 0 for 2 trip for Pahoek. And I agree with you. It's good looking for him, just could not get them to fall as Trout has that one knocked out, and it's going to be Southmoreland basketball. Trout flips it in. That's the Keffer. Tip drill. Count the bucket. He'll shoot another.
I'm impressed by Keffer. He's a good player.
Uses his 6'2" frame very well.
He looks young, and he's a big, thick kid, so he probably might grow a little bit more.
And if he does, that could be something Southmoreland really has to work with.
Yeah, he can handle the ball well for his size. He's a good player.
As Keffer sends that one in as well. He's up to 20.
And he makes his free throws.
Yeah, very good free throw shooter. 8 for 8 today from the stripe. As inside, it's DeBenedetto. DeBenedetto back to an open Tolliver, but Tolliver travels first. He knew it.
Yeah, sometimes you have to take that open shot instead of trying to get more.
And he's hit that.
Yeah, right.
He has 2 threes in this game, and the young sophomore got to start pulling the trigger here. As for the first time in what seems like forever, Southmoreland can get back into a single-digit disadvantage as a screen on Zion Moore was done illegally by Richter. That's going to be his 4th. And I think with all the kind of dismay by the Southmoreland bench, the officials might have missed the slamming of the ball by Ty Keffer.
That's good. I'm glad they missed that part. And I could see his frustration. He's doing a lot to help his team right now.
Richter steps out with his 4th foul. Pecan will check back in our next whistle. DeBenedetto gets it to Tolliver. Tolliver, top of the key, swings it to Zion Moore. Zion trying to work his way around Trout. There goes Zion, steps up from 17, no good. Rebound deflected. There's Tolliver, this time for 3, off the mark. Rebound out of bounds, last touch by Zion Moore. And it's going to be Scotty basketball. Pecan in along with Ty Campbell, the sophomore for Southmoreland, seeing his first action of the game. Full court press by Ringgold, and having a guy like Davenport that can pressure the ball is a huge advantage with that length. Campbell finds a streaking Trout. Trout puts it up, and an offensive foul as drawing the contact was DeBenedetto.
Nice job by DeBenedetto taking that charge.
As Davenport, slow to get back up, will make his way to the bench under his own power.
Oh, he's staying on the court. He must be all right.
Might have just been like a kicking of the shin, it looked like, the way he's kind of walking and limping around.
Charlie horse, maybe. What's going on out here? This guy's hurt.
Isaac Trout. He's the man who committed the foul, and I think he said, pointed at the leg and said cramp.
No, I think he twisted his ankle. I saw him down there on that play, underneath the bucket.
On that,
yeah.
As Isaac Trout, he has 5 points all in the second quarter. Will be 10-2 as Pecan from the corner for 3 off the mark. Davenport the board. Now out to Moore. Moore for 3 off the mark again.
Well, that changes things up for Southmoreland. Their primary defender on Zion Moore was Trout, and now it moved to Keffer. That's going to be an interesting matchup, actually, right here.
Keffer up ahead to Campbell. Campbell, left block, bounce pass underneath. That's to Myers. Wheels back out. Bounce pass almost taken away by Tolliver. There goes Lynn. Swings it near side for 3 for Campbell. Well short, and it pinballs out of bounds off the Scotties.
I'll tell you what. as strange as it may seem, Southmoreland is going to have a chance to make the playoffs in their section. You have a couple teams under them right now, and Mount Pleasant's in front of them. 4 go. They could give Mount Pleasant, York, South Park a battle for that.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the thing with that's a Mount Pleasant team. Yeah, they made the playoffs as Lynn fouls Zion Moore, but the thing with that is it's a Mount Pleasant team that lost so much from a year ago. The guys like Jonas King, who was a very similar player to a guy like Tolliver. Big, lanky, does it all. I think.
You mean Davenport?
Or Davenport, yeah. Thank you.
That's all right.
As
nice take.
Zion just misses there, but he was a do-it-all guy, and he had the right mentality to play that position. He knew sometimes he was going to be needed to score 10, 15 points, and he could do that, but other times he was going to be a stud defender as Lynn gets this back to a single-digit game at 41-32.
It's been a while since Ringgold scored.
Ringgold has 5 points this quarter. They were the opening 5. Then they've went cold. It's been
7.70 run by Southmoreland right now.
Tolliver gets stuffed by Myers in the corner. Ringgold needs to find a way to settle down and get back into their groove.
Yeah, they're giving Southmoreland a little bit of momentum right now. They better do something on this possession.
Pecan all the way up top to Pecan. He's scoreless this quarter. Floater up, no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it up, and he's fouled.
That'll be a foul number 1.
Caden Kiefer gets his second foul. And now Nick Pecan will shoot 2. 6 points today for Pecan, trying to get this back to at least a 10-point advantage as that one off the back iron. 0 for 3 this half from the charity stripe. Pecan sends it up and sends that one through. 42-32 lead for the Ringgold Rams. Pecan up to 7. As Collins lost the handle, gets it back. Rodney Collins. There's Kiefer driving in, and Keffer puts it up and in with the hook again. 22 for Ty Keffer, 34 for Southmoreland, and a carry for Zion Moore. And Trout will come back in with a noticeable limp for Southmoreland. Davenport replaces DiBenedetto, 140 remaining in the quarter, 42-34 lead for Ringgold.
Oh, this dude's limping. They need to trap him. They might be able to put some pressure on him and take that ball right out of his hands.
Deep 2 by Myers, won't fall. Now Zion in transition. Zion has Pecan all alone, and Zion couldn't get it that way as it's knocked out by Collins. Pecan to inbound here on the near side. Gets it to the corner. Pecan pulls the trigger off the mark again. Out of bounds, last touch by Zion Moore, and once again Southmoreland a chance to shrink this deficit. Ringgold's gone ice cold from the floor here in the third quarter. Up ahead through the hands of Myers, who was all alone in the corner, and the Rams get it off the turnover. 1:11 remaining in the third, 42-34 lead in favor of Ringgold over Southmoreland.
That was Charleroi legend Kevin Lee retrieving that ball out of the corner for the referee.
Zion Moore pressure tightly, swings it. Pecan for 3, no good.
Still not a single one.
And Glasser knocked it out. Lynn replaces Myers. As the crowd's starting to build here for the nightcap between California and Charleroi, which will conclude our evening as a high pass off the hands of Lorenzo Glasser and out. Means it's Southmoreland basketball.
I think that's going to be overturned. They don't think Glasser touched that ball. Yes, indeed.
And I understand why the official there made the call, because I initially thought the same thing from my angle. Like Glasser got a hand on it. But great job by the officials, conclaving and getting the right call here. Tolliver, bounce pass, there goes Davenport. Davenport, off the deflection into the backcourt, there's Zion Moore. Zion, directing traffic. Moore drives in, Zion gets two in the air, puts it up from the extended post, no good, rebound by Lynn. Lynn turns it over, Tolliver saves it, but right back to Keffer. Keffer, will he hold for the last shot? Now it's Collins with 13. Up to Lynn, but it's poked out by Tolliver, and now the offense can set up for Southmoreland. 10.4 on the clock, 42-34 in favor of Ringgold.
I think Zion Moore's trying to do a little bit too much by himself this quarter. He needs to just get a little bit more back into the flow of things.
Just one bucket for Zion. It was a triple as Trout, Collins for three, and off the mark, rebound, deflects to Zion, and that will end the quarter. Otherwise, Pecan would have been all alone, and Pecan makes the joking floating shot when he hasn't been able to make anything in the game. Maybe that will get him going in quarter number 4, as it's 42-34 in favor of Ringgold after 3, but it's anything but a comfortable lead for the Ringgold Rams right now.
Yeah, they got a little bit lackadaisical offensively in the third quarter. Like I said just a couple seconds ago, Zion tried doing a little bit too much by himself. They need to get a little bit more back into the flow of things, let their defense pick up a little bit, get them some offense out of that. Southmoreland, give them all the credit in the world. Keffer really playing well. 22 points now for his squad. Two-thirds of his team's points right now, and they're just playing well. They're sticking around, they're hanging around, and never know what could happen. Ringgold keeps missing shots. Keffer keeps taking shots.
It could be a different story by the end of the evening, as 9-6 was your third quarter scoring in favor of Southmoreland. Both teams in single digits that quarter, and the question is, can the Rams offense come back to life?
That's a good question.
As Zion Moore has had looks, the question is, can he hit them? Or Pecan, can he start knocking them down? It's not that they've changed anything really for Ringgold. They're still getting the looks. They're just not finishing their attempts. Far side, it's Keffer. Keffer drives in. Keffer with the right, too strong. Rebound ricochets to Collins. Collins swings it, Lynn all alone.
Yeah.
As you said, travel will go back the other direction.
Yeah, he forgot to dribble.
7:41 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 42-34 lead in favor of the Ringgold Rams. There comes Zion Moore. Moore over the Cougar logo at center court. Slowing things down. And that one out of bounds off of Nick Pecan. He's been cold this quarter. Just 1 point, and that was from the free throw line. Trout pressured by Davenport. This has been the type of offense that has got the Rams kind of rolling, as driving in here. Shot up by Collins, no good. Put back, yes, and that's Lynn cutting into the disadvantage. It's now 42-36. The Rams need the score, and they need to score quick. There goes Pecan, 1-2 down the lane, but no good. Kiefer got in the way. Keffer to Lynn. There goes Lynn. Lynn with the right, no good, too strong, and an offensive foul as Lynn got into Zion Moore. Lynn, a man only averaging 1.5 per game, has 4 this evening. Keffer right around his season average of 23 with 22. Trout's been the, in a sense, slacker tonight, but he is playing on a bummed ankle. 5 points, normally averaging 12.8, and you can just see he is not moving well. And I'm surprised they're not trying to isolate him on one side with Zion Moore and let Zion go to work.
I don't understand it either. I really don't understand it.
As a Ringgold timeout saves the double dribble on Tolliver, as head coach Matt Rowland could sense it.
You have a kid that's visibly injured, and you're not taking advantage of that on the offensive end for sure.
Ringgold has lost their last 3 games after winning the first 2, but again, no Zion, no Davenport. First game all year that Ringgold's had the full caliber of players.
Has Tolliver played yet this year?
Tolliver has played. I believe he started against Elizabeth Ford was his first game. I believe that's what Jose told me. He was out covering that game. And I think we have pictures from that game and that's what I used for our pregame graphic. I think Tolliver was on it. So I'm pretty sure it was Elizabeth Ford. It was either the Elizabeth Ford game or the West Allegheny game. So he's played in at least 2 of the last 3, I believe all 3. As that one out of bounds. Last touch by Nick Pecan, and the lead can shrink to 4 this trip down.
This is growing pains for Ringgold. They have to learn how to win. This is good for them right now.
Bounce pass into Keffer. Keffer foul line underneath. Collins, he's fouled. And the issue there with Davenport that time he came swinging across and never got ball. If you go straight up there, Davenport probably would have had a reason to plead his case. Collins 2 points today, no free throw attempts. As a team, they're shooting 46.2%, as that one no good for Rodney Collins. And with shooting 46.2% from the free throw line, we've seen how good Keffer's been there. We wonder, does he have 90% of their makes has to be from Ty Keffer, as that one rims out as well. As Kiefer could not get to fall, last out of bounds off of the Rams, and Southmoreland still a chance to cut into this Rams lead with 6:22 remaining in the 4th. Trout, the senior, bounce pass into Collins. Collins up top, there goes Lynn. Lynn, top of the key. Far side to Trout. Trout tries to get around Moore, can't, there goes Zion. Zion lays it up and one. Zion Moore back on the board. And he's looking for more from the line.
That was nice use of his left, nice use of his body, drawing the foul, putting it in left-handed on the layup. See if he can knock down the free throw to get that traditional three-point play. That was big.
Rams have been ice cold, first point in what seems like forever for Ringgold, as Zion sends it home. He's up to 22. And not counting that point in the 3rd quarter from Pecan, as Davenport tangles up with Ty Keffer to pick up the personal. But not counting that free throw made by Pecan, the only points, Zion Moore, those are the only points since the score, steal, 3 between Davenport and Zion Moore that happened early in that quarter.
Right. That was the beginning of the quarter.
That was almost a minute in. So you're looking, that's the first bucket from the floor in roughly 8 minutes.
Yeah, a whole quarter. Pretty much a whole quarter without scoring the basketball.
And you still had almost a 10-point advantage. Speaks to at least the defense not giving up, but they got to start putting the ball in the bucket, because, you know, the way it would look, and not trying to get too far ahead of ourselves, most likely on paper you would think they're playing Charleroi tomorrow. I mean, yes, California can beat them. Anything can happen in high school sports. But, you know, I think against a team like Charleroi with a guy like Will Wagner, he would take advantage of that. And, you know, a chance still to play Bell Vernon here this weekend. And if you're relying strictly on your defense and can't score, it's going to be a long night against those teams who can fill the basket.
Yes. And Charleroi is certainly one that has a couple of players. Well, Will Wagner's been pouring in the points. And then there's a couple other players that are helping him out along the way.
Caruso's been pretty good this year in a complimentary role. He's, I believe, at 144-ish points this season, Will Wagner.
Wow. How many games? 5.
5. Going into the Fraser game where he put up over 20, he was at 118. Trying to close in on that 1,000-point mark. He needs to continue that Tarrant pace to do so, as there goes Zion again, and Zion knocks it down.
Oh, another injury for Southmoreland.
That's Trout again coming up.
No, that's number 3.
Trout's injured as well, limping noticeably more as Collins knocked down the triple. And I'm surprised there wasn't a timeout there. 2 noticeably injured Rams, and they're playing the basketball on one of the guys that's not. And there goes Trout. Trout on one ankle lays it in. Lead down to 6.
That ankle healed up quick on the offensive end.
All of a sudden, he found a burst that he hasn't had in a while. As you can just see how noticeably he's hunched over. As you mentioned, Keffer underneath, he's limping around. And there goes Zion, 1-2 right at Keffer, and Keffer with the foul. Make that Kiefer, excuse me. Caden Kiefer picks up the personal. As Myers will check in after the first shot for Zion Moore. He's 1 for 2 from the line.
So Kiefer's a sophomore also.
I think this team is sophomores, as Zion Moore knocks down the first. Up to 25. As you look at this team, Trout, the senior, Collins, Kiefer, Campbell, all players sophomores. Myers, a junior. Primus, we haven't seen him today, as that one's no good. He's a freshman. And then you have Keffer and Richter, both sophomores, with Lynn, a junior. So only one senior on this team that has seen minutes, and that's Trout. And actually, going down the lineup, one of only 2. As Pecan puts up the 3, no good. Pecan once again gets the rebound. Pecan. Now it's Bahoic. Bahoic to Pecan. Pecan. Right wing, pocket pick. That's by Collins. There goes Collins. Now it's Keffer. Keffer drives in. Keffer off the window and in. Make it 48-43. Southmoreland inching closer. Keffer to 24.
Ringgold has to take care of the ball. They're letting that ball out in front of them, and Southmoreland's getting opportunities to take it off of them. So, you know, turnovers are killing them right now, especially turnovers out front. 5-point game with 4:07 remaining.
I don't think many people saw this coming into this game. I think a lot of people thought Ringgold would run Southmoreland out of the building.
Yeah, even at halftime, I thought that they were going to really build on the lead, but
offense has been ice cold.
Yeah, well, they're turning the ball over a lot.
They're making up for the warm weather outside. It's plenty cold on this Ringgold side of the bench. As 48 points for the Rams coming into play today. The Ringgold Rams are averaging just over 50.4, so they're right on that kind of route to hit that mark. But the thing is, that's with not a full capacity of players. You'd think with the full capacity, they're easily a 60-plus point a game team. Well, there's Pecan. And Pecan off the window and in. Finally, Nick Pecan finds pay dirt.
He's been doing that well so far this game. So he just got to start knocking down his three, and it'll be a big difference for him.
When the three's not falling, get to the rim as Nick Pecan sends it up and rattles it no good. Keffer back the other way. Underneath is Collins. Collins to Myers for three. Myers off the mark again.
Nice rebound.
Pecan again into the front court. Pecan. There's Bohoic, and timeout called by head coach Matt Rowland. He's going to use the full variety. Run down the scoring thus far. 24 for Ty Keffer, 5 for Collins, 7 for Trout, 4 for Lynn, along with 3 for Myers, 8 for Tolliver. All came back in half number 1, 9 for Pecan. Bohoic held scoreless 0 for 2 from the stripe. Davenport 8 and 25 for Zion Moore. Seven-point game. Ringgold hanging on by a thread against the Southmoreland team, but the thing is, this offense has been so one-dimensional for Southmoreland. The question is, can Ty Keffer continue to carry the load?
Right now, it looks like he can.
You know, that's kind of what we said about Evan Berger. I remember earlier this season, Evan Berger, oh, he's at like 30 points. Can you sustain and have a chance to win a game when you're relying on one guy? And I think the proof's that you really can. And right now, Ty Keffer's been doing it all, and he just needs some other guys to make some shots. And that's what Ringgold's had besides Zion Moore. Tolliver made some shots in the first half. Davenport made some shots in the first half, and that's why they have this advantage. Not because anyone else is making shots right now, but if Myers could start making some shots, he's had so many open looks. If he could finish, we could be talking about a Southmoreland lead. Tolliver all alone. There's Pecan, doesn't pull the trigger. Zion Moore. Far side, skips it in. Bohoic. Back to Zion. Zion steps into the three and buries it. Zion Moore moves the lead to 10. Zion trying to go the other way, has it knocked out of bounds. 3:07 remaining in the fourth, 53-43 in favor of Ringgold over Southmoreland. Davenport gets it to Moore. Zion into the front court. Bohoic sets the screen. Zion trying to knife his way in, has Pecan. A little too much by Zion Moore. Keffer to Collins. In the corner, there's Richter for three. Richter doesn't have the answer. Davenport gets it to Zion. Moore over the divider. Tolliver has his pocket pick. That's Keffer. Keffer drives in off the window and one. Ty Keffer once again getting the job done for Southmoreland.
I hate to say this, but if I was Coach Rowland, I'd come down on offense and clear out one side and let Zion go one-to-one, especially with an injured player.
Ty Keffer looking to shrink the deficit once again. That one rims out. A rare miss, his first in 9 tries here this evening. Both teams will be shooting the rest of the way. Zion, right wing, Zion. Now it's Davenport. Davenport inside. Bohoic kick out. There's Pecan for three. And off the mark again. Tolliver.
Big rebound by Tolliver.
Wheels back out. Tolliver. There's Zion. Pressured by the injured Isaac Trout. Zion having his way with him. A step back jumper. Knocks it down. 30 for Zion. As Nick Pecan picks up the personal. 1:49 remaining in the fourth, and now a chance to cut into the lead. with time standing still for Southmoreland. As another sophomore will come to the scorer's table, that's Ty Campbell. He replaces Myers. 1-1 for Isaac Trout, his first attempt from the stripe today. And with an injured ankle, that's one of the toughest things to do.
I'll tell you what, Zion Moore really put this team on his back here in the fourth quarter, but he is getting a little bit of help doing little things. Big rebound by Tolliver that last time. Nick Pecan being able to take the ball to the hole a little bit. Ringgold's, they're doing all right, building their lead back up.
It's at 9. Moore wants to increase it. He drives right in, puts it up, and rattles it home. As Zion Moore putting on a fourth quarter show. 13 in the fourth for Zion. (57-46). Ringgold on top with 1:34 remaining in the fourth. Trout sends it in. Keffer seems frustrated out there. Gets his man in the air, swings it to Richter. Richter drives in, foul line, kick out to Campbell through the hands, and the Rams get it back.
How many times have we seen that tonight?
And the thing is, when they've connected, it's resulted in a miss for Southmore. That corner's been open, but I think Ringgold said, we're fine, we'll give you that corner. As a steal by Trout, off the window and in. Isaac Trout into double digits with 10. One ankle, no problem there for Isaac Trout. Zion tries to drive past the pair. Zion Moore double teamed. Zion around everybody. Swings it across Tolliver. Tolliver, bounce pass
Nice
in.
pass.
And Davenport with the finish.
Nice look by Tolliver.
Jesus up to 10, and here comes Campbell. Lead at 11. Richter drives in, drives the baseline, and steps on it. .43 on the clock here in the fourth. 59-43 your score in favor of the Ringgold Rams as they can look to close this thing out and move on to the winner's bracket here of the Charleroi Holiday Tournament.
I'm shocked they're not getting fouled.
Zion knifing his way in again, off the window and in. Zion Moore. Give the Rams 61, give Zion 34. He wants number 35 at the line. 15 points this quarter for Zion Moore. As Zion Moore trying to, and possibly putting up the best game of his young high school career thus far. 61-48, 29 ticks of the clock left. As Ringgold's going to concede and hope Zion makes it. He will not, off the mark, and the clock will run. 26 on it, as there's Trout on the Cougar paw print in the left wing, drives in. Trout with the right, and Trout no good. Rebound knocked out by Lynn with 18.6 remaining in the fourth. That's just about all she wrote here in game number 2, here in day number 1. Ringgold will take on the winner of Charleroi and California tomorrow as Campbell with the steal. Bounce pass deflects out of bounds off of Pecan as the inevitable is delayed once again with 12.6 on the clock.
One thing Ringgold's going to really have to work on is taking care of that ball.
Trout into Lynn with a little tip drill off the back iron and in, and Southmoreland gets the 50. We'll see that a lot in the nightcap as the Cougars love to do that with Will Wagner. 1 on the clock. Zion dribbles it out. And Zion Moore puts on a fourth quarter show of 15. And Ringgold, 61-50. They are victorious over Southmoreland here in game number 2 of the Charleroi Holiday Tournament. as they'll move on to take on the winner of California and Charleroi, which is coming up next here on MVI Live, simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Naz, any final thoughts on this one?
On this one, no. I'm really looking forward to watching the California-Charleroi game. That was always a big rivalry. My son graduated from California. I know when he was there, that was one of the biggest games of the year for them.
And it looks to be in front of a really good crowd coming in for this last game. So she'll be excited to see what those two teams can do. The winner of this next game will get Ringgold, and the loser will take on the Commodores or the Scotties. Again, there's some typos in the bracket. And I think the reason they actually have it that way is because if it is Cal losing, they want to avoid the Cal-Fraser game, as they are section foes, and they will meet actually in the first game after this classic to start their section play. So I think we'll wait to see that one. But nonetheless, we know Ringgold's playing in game 2. We know East Day's playing Bell Vernon in the nightcap tomorrow, and Charleroi and Cal will duke it out for the last spot in the winner's bracket against Ringgold. Naz, it was fun.
Yes, it was.
As the Rams and Zion Moore move on 61-50. Your final score on behalf of Naz Victoria and everyone here at MVI Live. I'm Alex Lyon saying thanks for tuning in. If you're not coming back for game number 3, have a great rest of your evening. If not, stick around and we'll bring you the nightcap between Charleroi and Cal right here on MVI Live.